It's about 3 inches thick. But there are some very important things that are affecting students right now, internationally and domestically. It's kind of hard to get our minds around it, but in the last 2 years, our nation has spent $3.5 trillion in excess of tax revenues. Now, a lot of us don't even have any idea what $1 trillion is. $1 trillion is $1 million.
I'll pick it up later, like on my way out.
That's enough money to give almost every man, woman, and child in San Antonio $1 million. And the excess over tax revenues that have been spent in the last 2 years would actually be enough money to give every man, woman, and child in Houston, Texas $1 million. That's $4 trillion. What is happening internationally is the dollar is dropping precipitously on international markets. Since June, the dollar's dropped 13%, which means that all the things that we buy, most of which are produced overseas, cost us almost 15% more than they did a mere 4 months ago. Now, how does that affect students? Well, for one thing, every single thing that you buy is going to be more expensive. Everything that you purchase, the dollars are being inflated to where everything you buy is going to be more costly. But there's even more direct problem facing students right now. The federal government in the healthcare bill just took over all the student loans in America. Every student loan now has to go through a federal agency. You can't go down to anybody except the federal government to get a loan. And the United States Department of Education is going to be deciding who gets to go to school and where, and what schools get funding with student loans. So what has happened is an enormous centralization of education in Washington. Now, some of you may not be concerned with that, but having taught myself for 17 years in various colleges and universities, I can tell you that what may happen is it's kind of like going to the Social Security system, you know, to check on something with your Social Security card. They give you a number, and they'll say, wait 3 hours. What may start happening, and I think will start happening, is the federal bureaucracy is going to start handling student loans, and they're going to asking you to take tickets and wait 3 hours. So anyway, my name's Clayton Trotter. I won't talk anymore. Oh, by the way, I did teach for 17 years. The last 10 years, though, I've been the general counsel of the Justice Foundation, a public interest law firm here in San Antonio, and I have been providing legal services free of charge. We raise money publicly to do that, and we don't charge our clients anything. And what we need to do right now is stop spending, cut taxes, and pay off our debt, because if we don't, your kids simply won't have anything.
I'm going to walk around with this.
And your life will not be anything like the life of those like myself who grew up in the 50s and 60s. And oh, and by the way, one last thing on insurance. You guys have not been provided insurance. You're being forced to buy insurance. And you're being forced to buy insurance if you get a job, by the way. About 25% of you are not going to have jobs because of what's going on in the administration right now. But you're going to have to buy insurance to pay for me and for the other baby boomers. There's no free lunch and there's no insurance that's free either. So anyway, consider voting for me, Clayton Trotter, for Congress. I do understand students. I've spent most of my life teaching. I'll be glad to talk to any of you anytime. Call trotterforcongress.com, go online, Twitter with us, Facebook, whatever. And God bless you.
So our next guest will be our County Court at Law number 9 judge, Mr. Walton Shelton. Mr. Shelton, are you available today? Come.
Hello, I'm Walton Shelton. I'm running for judge for County Court number 9. It's great to be back at UTSA. I graduated from here. It's certainly changed since I've been here, but I do have fond memories of being under Sombria Plaza eating lunch. A little bit about myself. I've got a master's degree and in management and a bachelor's degree in finance. I received my law degree from Texas Wesleyan University, and I practice law here in San Antonio. I am Martindale-Hubbell rated, which means I'm a trial-rated lawyer. I'm the only trial-rated lawyer in any of the county court races. I've also been listed twice in Texas Monthly Super Lawyers. I believe I'm very qualified to handle this bench. Again, my name is Walden Shelton. I'm running for judge for County Court number 9. I would certainly appreciate your support in November or early voting. Thank you.
Ms. Laura Salinas.
Good afternoon. My name is Judge Laura Salinas. I'm the presiding judge of County Court at Law number 9, and that is a criminal misdemeanor court. That case, I have been on that court since 2006. I was elected, sworn in January of 2007. I'm a native San Antonian, born and raised, went to Lee High School, Incarnate Word College, SMU School of Law, and I've been endorsed by all the major agencies in San Antonio. I've been endorsed by the Express News, San Antonio Police Department, the sheriff's officers, the Bexar County Sheriff's Department, and also the AFL-CIO. It's important to exercise your right to vote. A lot of folks have fought hard to give us that right, and so I encourage you to go out and encourage your family members, your friends to vote, get to know your candidates, and most importantly, get to know their qualifications and experience. I have over nearly 13 years of legal experience and have been on the bench. I have disposed of over 17,000 cases, and so I have the experience to stay on this court and have been running this court efficiently. I ask for your vote, and thank you for coming out to get to know your candidates today. Thank you.
All right, next is our United States Representative, District 21, Lainey Melnick.
I don't know what I
Hi everyone, I'm Lainey Melnick. I'm running for Congress in District 21 against Lamar Smith. Thank you. I'm a business owner, a mother of 4 children, and a grandmother. And I am running for Congress because our community needs us to take action. For the past 23 years, our district has been represented by Lamar Smith. In all his time on Capitol Hill, he's managed to say no to every important issue of our time. When it came to preserving women's rights and protecting children, he said no. When it came to ensuring fairness for our seniors, our veterans, teachers, policemen, and firefighters, he said no. When it came to putting policies in place to safeguard our economy and protect our environment, he said no. Now let me ask you, if saying no is the only thing Lamar Smith has learned how to do since 1986, isn't it time we say no to Lamar Smith? Well, I think you'll agree with me that the time has come for someone to represent our district who will take action, someone who will look out for your interests and not the special interests, and someone who will wear out the soles of her shoes and not the seat cushion of her chair. That's precisely what I'll do as your representative. So if you're concerned that your voice isn't being heard, if you're tired of the failed policies of Lamar Smith, and if you have a vision for a brighter tomorrow, then join me and 15,000 other supporters in taking action to win in November. Please go to LaineyForCongress.com and make an investment in the future of Texas. Thank you very much, and please vote. 6 days to voting, early voting, and only 3 weeks to the election day. Thank you very much.
Strom. Okay, seeing none. Everyone welcome Congressman Charlie Gonzalez. We'll come up and say a few words, so everyone a round of applause.
Well, thank you very much. Everyone that's putting this on, trying to get people engaged, it's probably the most valuable thing you'll be doing between now and the election, because it really is your future. And I know you've had individuals come up here and tell you that student loans are going to be harder to have, they're going to take longer to process, and I'm just here to tell you that that is absolutely not true. This campaign season is about exaggeration. It's about misrepresentation. Don't be gullible. What we did in Congress was to increase the availability of Pell Grants, and you can check all this out. We've increased the amount of monies available by way of federally guaranteed student loans. We have reduced the interest rate, and we did it by taking out the middle person, which was the proper thing to do to extend opportunity to all of you. What is it that we have to say to our young people to get you to the polls? If you're registered elsewhere, you still can vote. This is about your future. This is whether the federal government and the state government wants to invest in making a higher education available to everyone. We're talking about you. You're going to hear a lot about freedoms. Freedoms of expression, freedom of religion, all those wonderful basic principles of our Constitution. But how can we have and enjoy and exercise those freedoms if you don't have freedom from hunger, freedom from illness, and freedom from ignorance? Our priorities are to extend opportunities to all of you that wish to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to accomplish something in your life. Join me. We say yes to the American dream because it is achievable, but it will not happen overnight without your help. Look past all of the slogans. Look to performance. Look to see what we have done for the students in the United States of America, whether it's K through 12 or higher education. And I stand before you. I am not for abolishing the Department of Education. And you better start looking to see what people stand for. My opponents, we all know what they oppose, but you know very little of what they propose and what they will be supporting. But I can assure you that I'll go head to head, fact on fact, figure to figure, and it still will come out in your best interest to support Charlie Gonzalez to return to Congress to represent you, the students here at UTSA. You make us all very proud, by the way. Thank you very, very much.
All right, so is anyone from Michael Commander Endrigo's campaign here? All right. Moving on to Francisco Kiko Canseco. Is he here this evening, or does anyone from his campaign want to make an introduction? Not yet? Okay. Ciro Rodriguez is the Democrat candidate, Martin Nitschke, Ed Scharf for the Green Party, and Craig T. Stevens for Independent. All right, so now we're going to move on to County Commissioner Precinct number 4, Susan Parmelo. Susan Parmelo.
Hi there, I'm speaking on behalf of Susan Parmelo. She couldn't make it today. I want to start off with Susan's motto. It's not about just showing up. It's about bringing solutions, getting things done. During tough economic times, government should focus on basic services. Some of her issues that are her top priorities are local economy. Small businesses and the military provide the primary base of Precinct 4. Susan can help link the two. with extensive experience in bringing military missions to bases and working with the community to effect those changes. Crime. Her focus is on crime prevention, crime victims' rights, and stopping the cycle of family violence. Roads for Precinct 4. As the representative of Precinct 4, her focus is improving roads in Precinct 4, whereas her opponent focuses on mass transportation. In terms of new roads, Susan believes that no existing roads should be tolled. However, voters should be able to approve or disapprove new projects. Fiscal accountability. Her opponent approved a $1 billion county bond without allowing Bexar County voters to have a say-so. We need the county hospital capability, but voters likely would not have approved of a $7 million in art, especially in these economic times. There also needs to be a budget reform and a more open budget process, such as budget hearings with constituents in each of the 4 county precincts, and all budget meetings broadcast on the internet. In addition, her opponent has voted to more than double his salary since being in office and has quadrupled county spending during that time. Thank you, and remember to vote for Susan Parmelo, County Commissioner, Precinct 4.
Thank you very much. Is anyone from Tommy Atkinson's campaign here? Okay, moving up to our county clerk, Gerard Jerry Rickoff.
Hi, my name is Jerry Rickoff. I'm your county clerk. I'm very proud to say I was a student here. I want to encourage you to get out and vote. Congratulations on having an early voting site. I hope it's utilized well. I'm the person you come to see for a marriage license, your land records, probate, and materials supporting the misdemeanor courts. I'm here to ask for your vote, and I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
Is there any other county clerk candidates here this evening? All right, moving on to our Judge County Probate Court number 2. Is Barbara Sharf Zeldez here?
They said I needed to use my courtroom voice today. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm Barbara Sharf Zeldez. I am the Democratic candidate for Probate Court 2. Most of you have no idea what probate court is, but it's going to affect each and every one of your lives, whether you like it or not. It addresses the administrations of estates when people pass away. It addresses guardianships for those who can't make decisions for themselves. They've been determined as being incapacitated. It also addresses eminent domain and addresses the mental health docket. And that's why it is terribly important for you to make sure that the right person is in that court. I've been serving with our fire and police for 17 years as in-house counsel, handling cases in the areas of probate and family law. I'm also a mediator. And I invite you to take back this court. I call it the People's Life Court because it touches each and every one of our lives. It's so important for you to have someone there who wants to serve you and take care of you and your families. So I respectfully ask for your vote. Look for me at the bottom of the ballot. They do save the best for last. Barbara Sharf Zeldez for Probate Court 2. Thank you.
Is anyone from the Tom Rickoff campaign here? Okay. Our next, take a couple minutes to queue up the next few speakers. Could we have someone from Scott Roberts' campaign join us at this table right here? Also from Laura Salinas, Walden Shelton. I apologize, that's right, thank you. Ina Castillo, Jason Wolf, if y'all could come up to the front, please.
Hello there. My name's Scott Roberts, and I'm running for Judge of County Court at Law number 12. I want to thank all of you for coming out this afternoon. I appreciate that you have a great deal of interest in these races, enough interest to come out and listen to us speak, and that impresses me very much. I've been a lawyer for 21 years. I've been a prosecutor for the last 12. I've handled every type of criminal case, all the way from capital murder to DWI. I've been in the appellate section for 11 years, and if you were to run a Lexus background check, you would find that I've been the lead counsel on over 350 appeals. I want to take my years of experience trying both civil and criminal cases and put them to work for all of you as Judge of County Court at Law number 12. I was endorsed by the Express News, and I would appreciate all of your help. Please remember to vote for me. I'm at the bottom of the ballot. Vote for me on November 2nd. That's Scott Roberts for County Court at Law 12. Thank you.
Our next guest is Judge from the County Court of Law number 5, Ina Castillo.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ina Castillo, and I am a candidate for County Court at Law number 5. I see you all up there. County Court number 5 will be dealing with criminal misdemeanor cases like DWIs, possessions of marijuana cases, criminal mischiefs, and also some civil cases. I'm a former prosecutor, and now I'm currently a criminal defense attorney. I've been licensed for 10 years. And in this judicial race, I have been very honored to have been endorsed by the San Antonio Police Officers Association, the Firefighters Association, Sheriff Amadeo Ortiz, Constable Ruben Tejeda, and I also received the San Antonio Express News endorsement. No matter how you decide to vote on November 2nd, just please exercise that right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll be very brief. My name is Jason Pulliam. I'm running for Judge of County Court of Law number 5. I served as a Marine Corps JAG lawyer for 4 years. I was the top-rated criminal defense lawyer in the Marine Corps. Since I left active duty, I've been a commercial litigator here in San Antonio, and I've been recognized by my professional peers on 4 different occasions for my outstanding work and legal ability. I ask you for your vote on November 2nd. Early voting starts on October 18th, and you can find out more information about me at jasonforjudge.com. Thanks.
Anyone from the Jason Wolf campaign, or are we still gonna? Yep. Good to see you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to keep it brief. You have an opportunity to vote for a UTSA alum. That's myself. I hope that's enough to get you over the top. If it's not, I've been a prosecutor now and tried everything from DWI to murder. I'm running for County Court 2 Judge. Again, it's Jason Wolf. Get out there and vote. Regardless, exercise your rights, everything we've earned. Jason Wolf for Judge. If you want to learn more, visit my webpage. Thank you.
District Attorney. Is there anyone from Susan Reed's campaign, or is Susan Reed here? All right, now I'll introduce Nicholas Nico LaHood.
Thank you for having us out here today. I really appreciate it. Hopefully everybody gets engaged and votes. Next week starts October 18th. November 2nd is the actual election day. We desperately need a balance in the district attorney's office. And what I tell folks is I've had the very unique experience of seeing the justice system from every angle. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. I've been a magistrate judge. When I was young and foolish, I made a poor choice in my life, and I went through the justice system myself. So I've seen that there's a redemptive side to the justice system if it's run properly. And I've also experienced crime the worst way possible. With 14 years ago, my older brother Mike was murdered in my parents' driveway. So I understand the issues that relate to victims. And it's time that we come together as a justice system to fix the problems in Bexar County. In 2009, it might surprise you to know that we had the highest crime rate of the 25 largest cities in America. #1. When you compare Bexar County to the 5 major counties in Texas, we have the worst statistics. We have the lowest conviction rates and the highest dismissal rates. It's time that we come together as a justice system and as a community to make our city and our county safer. So I really would look forward to your help and your vote. Please pass the word to your friends. Come by, pick up a t-shirt or a bumper sticker. Visit us on Facebook or our website. Get on our email list so we can send out information. And I look forward to serving you as district attorney. Thank you very much.
Our next guest is our district judge, 437th Judicial District, Lori Valenzuela. And also if Pamela Gabriel Craig would come up as well.
My name is Pamela Gabriel Craig. I am the candidate for the 437th Criminal District Court. Hey, up there. I'm the Democratic candidate for the 437th Criminal District Court. I would like to tell you that I was 50 years old when I graduated from law school. I just turned 60. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. I was appointed magistrate by Mayor Harburger, and then Bexar County Magistrate, one of the first ones, by the district court judges. I believe in families coming first. Whenever you go into the courtroom, you see all the families of the victims and the defendants. These people have something to say. What happens to the victims and the defendants affects them the rest of their lives. I want to listen to these people. I think I have the life experience, the maturity, and the compassion to focus in on the felony cases and to focus in on the families. I would like to be elected, not appointed, elected by the people. I am Pamela Gabriel Craig, and I am the Democratic nominee for the 437th Criminal District Court. Thank you very much, and please don't forget to vote. Thank you.
Our district judge, 436th Judicial District, Rosa Maria Gonzalez.
She's the judge, I'm the candidate. Right now she's the judge. Just a quick correction, I'm a candidate for the 436th Judicial District Court, and that's a juvenile court here in town. It's a hybrid court. That means that the kids that come before that court are charged under the Adult Penal Code, and the Juvenile Code dictates how we process them through our courts. Now, before becoming an attorney, I had 11 years experience in adolescent social work and juvenile corrections. I worked as a child abuse investigator. I worked as a juvenile probation officer. I taught special ed in high school. I ran an adolescent substance abuse program. And that's just a few of the things I did before I became an attorney and started working in the problem-solving courts. The problem-solving courts include drug court, mental health court, domestic violence court, and the court that I do most of my work in, child abuse court. Now, I can tell you that I bring to this bench a very unique experience, not any experience that any other candidate can bring to that bench. I've been in San Antonio the better of 25 years working for the betterment of children and families in our community. And I can tell you that I'm the only candidate that has real experience working with real people, working towards real solutions. In our juvenile courts now, 25% of our juveniles will self-report as reoffending adults. And a number of those kids will end up in domestic violence courts. We don't have to look at those kids as our next generation of incarcerated adults. This community has all the proper resources to make sure that they become our community's next class of productive citizens, and that we can teach them that they have choices in life, and one of those choices is to get an education. Again, my name is Rosie Gonzalez, and with your vote, I can bring my passion for juvenile justice back to the heart of Bexar County. I ask you to humbly vote for me Early voting starts October 18th, and the last day to vote is November 2nd. One more time, Rosie Gonzalez for the 436. Thank you very much.
We have Lisa K. Jarrett. Judge Jarrett. Apologize.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here and listening today. My name is Lisa Jarrett. I am the judge of the 436 District Court. I was appointed to that court last year by the governor, and in my last 17 years of experience in the juvenile justice system and in the criminal justice system, I've been a prosecutor, I've been a defense attorney, I was an associate juvenile judge for 2 years before my appointment, and now I am on the bench. We are trying to stop the cycle of juvenile crime because in my 17 years I've seen that most juvenile offenders, or most people that end up in prison, are juvenile offenders. I would ask you to vote. However you are going to vote, just do so. It's very important for the country. And also, would you please remember to keep Judge Jarrett. My website is judgejarrett.com. It'll tell you more about my philosophy, my endorsements. I was endorsed by the Firefighters Association, the Bexar County Sheriff's Association, the San Antonio Police Officers Association, and the Express News. There is a link on my website to that Express News article, and it'll give you more insight. Thank you all. I'm Lisa Jarrett, the judge of the 436 District Court.
Our next district is the 290th, and our first guest is Melissa Skinner. Also, if we could have Norma Gonzalez's campaign come up as well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Melissa Skinner. I'm the Republican candidate for the 290th Judicial District Court, which is a court of criminal jurisdiction, handling everything from high-end thefts all the way to the death penalty case, all the way to death penalty cases. And I've tried every single one of those types of cases. As a matter of fact, if you stop by my table, I have a whole list of all of my felony jury trials. I've been licensed to practice law for 17 years, and every single one of those years I've practiced as a criminal law practitioner. The last 15 as a prosecutor with the District Attorney's Office, and I'm currently, at present, the lead supervising attorney for that court. I think it's really important for you all to know what actual experience your candidates have, which is why I've listed all of my criminal jury trials. But I've actually handled thousands upon thousands of criminal cases here in Bexar County. I have the experience and the knowledge to recognize when someone is a threat to our community, and the experience and the knowledge to keep our community safe. Again, my name is Melissa Skinner, and I'm asking for your vote for the 290th Judicial District Court. Thanks for having me.
Next is the 280th Judicial District. Is anyone from the Sol Kaseb III candidate present? And Tina Torres. Is Tina Torres present today? All right. Let's go. All right, moving on to the 85th Judicial District. Is Rosie Alvarado here?
Hello, my name is Rosie Alvarado, and I am running for the 285th Judicial District Court here in Bexar County. This particular court covers the entire Bexar County area, and it handles cases that strike home in the hearts and lives of the citizens of Bexar County. Particularly, family law cases are heard in this particular court. Divorce, child support, child custody, termination of parental rights, adoption. In addition to that, job loss matters are heard in this court. Foreclosures, small business litigation, insurance disputes. As a trial lawyer, I've handled cases such as these. I've represented families in turmoils and worried parents, the working men and women of Bexar County. I've done the divorce case, the child custody matters, the termination of parental rights. I know how these cases affect the lives of the people that are going before the court. The reason I chose to run is because I want to ensure that when people go to this court, that they have equal access and fair treatment under the law. I will follow the law accordingly and strictly. I will not misconstrue it to serve some political ideology either. In addition to that, I'm a small business owner. I've been practicing law for 8 years and running my law practice the entire time in private practice. I'm a mother of a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm married, and I grew up in a public service-oriented family. My father is a former state representative, and my mother is a retired school teacher, and they taught me that serving our community is the highest honor that an individual can achieve. On Monday, the 18th, your school is going to become a poll site here, and you will have the right to vote here on campus from the 18th through the 29th. I ask you to exercise your right to vote, and please consider me when you go to the polls. Again, my name is Rosie Alvarado, and I ask for your support. You can look me up at www.rosieforjudge.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. And I'd also like to say, for those of you who have just recently joined us, UTSA will be an early voting site on the 18th of October, coming right up in the University Center 3. You go right in the front foyer, and any student who's registered to vote can do so there. So it's a great opportunity. Our next candidate, do we have anyone from Richard Price's campaign? Okay. I'm going to take a 3-minute break, and I'll be right back. Jeff Wentworth.
Good afternoon. I'm Senator Jeff Wentworth. I'm the current senator in District 25, and I'm running for re-election. I've been interested in education for a long time and served on the Board of Regents of the Texas State University system before I was elected to the Texas House some years ago, and am considered the father of the Texas Grant Program, which has now accommodated about $1.2 billion to 250,000 Texas students whose tuition and required fees are paid for by the state. In addition, several years ago, when I was an undergraduate student, I always thought we ought to have a student on the Board of Regents. And we couldn't get that done, but now that I'm in the legislature, I authored a bill that became an amendment that is now the law, and we now have a student on every public Board of Regents in the state of Texas. In addition, I authored the name change from Southwest Texas State University to Texas State University San Marcos. On tuition deregulation, which used to be the responsibility of the Texas legislature, the legislature some years ago decided to allow boards of regents to set tuition. I thought that was a bad idea because the legislature is actually elected and accountable to voters. So I voted no. As a result of that, the boards of regents have allowed tuition to dramatically increase. I actually had the pleasure of about 8 years ago teaching a class in Texas government here at UTSA, and respectfully request your vote on November 2nd if you're not voting early. Once again, it's Jeff Wentworth, State Senator, District 25. Thank you very much.
All right, next is going to be our Justice, 4th Court of Appeals, District Place 2, unexpired term. And our first guest will be Marilyn Bernard. Okay, and Rebecca C. Martinez.
Hi, I'm Gabriela Hernandez, and Rebecca couldn't be here because she had to be in Kerrville today. I'm just here to say that she's by far the most qualified candidate for the 4th Court of Appeals. She would be great, and you should vote for her. Thank you.
All right, so next is District Judge, 187th Judicial District, Raymond Angelini. Raymond Angelini. And we have Denora Diaz. Okay, moving on to District Judge, 150th Judicial District, Ada Rojas. What's your name, sir?
Hello, my name is Todd Headley. I'm representing Ida Rojas for the 150th District Court. This is a very important race. Ida's opponent, Janet Littlejohn, has been on the bench for 16 years, and she is overturned more often than any other judge in Bexar County. She's overturned at twice the rate than the Bexar County average. And the reason she's overturned so frequently is because she doesn't allow witness testimony or evidence to be presented in her courtroom. She doesn't conduct trials. She calls the attorneys back into her judges' chambers, forces them to summarize their case in 5 minutes or less, and renders her decisions based on this very compact summary. We know these are bad decisions because she's overturned twice as often as any other judge in the county. They're problematic for 2 reasons. One, when these cases are appealed and overturned, they are thrown back into the district court system. And there's a backlog of cases for people to get their day in court. And because this Littlejohn is not rendering proper decisions, this backlog is longer. The second problem is, if you lack the resources to file an appeal, which can cost upwards of $10,000, you have no recourse. Ida Rojas is a lawyer here in town. 30% of her clients are pro bono cases. She does not charge for their services. When this happens in Littlejohn's court, these people have nowhere to turn. Not only were they denied their day in court, they were denied justice. And there's nowhere for them to turn. It is time to vote Ida Rojas for the 150th District Court. Thank you very much.
Our next guest is District Judge, 73rd Judicial District, unexpired term. Do we have Renee McElney? Apologize if I didn't pronounce that right. But.
Howdy, I'm Judge Renee. Are there any Roadrunner fans out there? Woo! All right. Thank you guys so much for bringing us out here. I want to let you know a little bit about me. I was an Air Force brat, came here to San Antonio and stuck. I graduated from Judson High School, went to UT and became a public school teacher. Taught school in Austin for 2 years, and then I taught for 7 years at MacArthur High School. Any MacArthur Bremas out there? All right, I heard one. There's one. Very good. Then I went to law school. In law school, I specialized in the legal issues. And then from the time I started law school, I knew that someday I would want to be your judge. So I prepared myself for 20 years, okay, I'm that old, to be your judge. I became the partner in the litigation practice after 17 years at Cox Smith here in San Antonio. And then in that capacity, I specialized in the legal issues of a case. I became such a specialist, such an expert, that the State Bar of Texas asked me to be the author on the book that every judge and every lawyer in the state of Texas uses when they try the case. I've been the author of that book for the last 6 years. In January, the governor appointed me to be your judge. Since January, I've tried 8 jury trials and over 100 bench trials. And I'm asking you to vote for me in November. Here's 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm a legal scholar, as you've already heard. And second, I care about children. 2/3 of what you do in the 73rd District Court is making sure that kids are safe and that kids get all the resources that they're entitled to. As a former teacher, I've got the heart for that job. I'm very glad to be your judge, and I ask for your vote. Thank you.
All right, do we have anyone from the Roberto Rios campaign?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's so important that we get the vote out. I apologize that my husband, Roberto, could not be here. He is in the mediation today, but I am here representing him. I just want to say a little bit about him. He has been named one of the best lawyers in our county, 2009, 2010. He is the right candidate for this bench. The 73rd District Court is first and foremost a trial court, and we need somebody in there who has trial experience. He's been practicing for over 13 years, tried countless verdicts, countless trials, many to verdict, and we need somebody in there who's been before the people, who's represented the people, who's represented the small businesses. That is what Roberto Rios stands for. So I ask for your vote for him on November 1st. Early voting is October 18th. Please vote Roberto Rios for the 73rd District Court. On a personal level, as a husband and father, I think that a person's character says a lot about him. He's a wonderful husband, very committed to his family, very wonderful family man, very wonderful father, very dedicated, very loyal, lots of integrity, very respectful, and those are the kind of qualities that he's going to bring to the bench. And it's important that we get people in there with the right integrity. So vote for Roberto. Thank you.
State Representative, District 122, Lyle Larson. Is there anyone from Lyle Larson's campaign today? Dr. Maserat Ali. Moving on to State Representative, District 117, John V. Garza. David McQuaid Leibowitz. And moving on to Attorney General, Jon Roland.
My name is Jon Roland. I am the Libertarian Party nominee for Texas Attorney General. That job is particularly well placed with its duties to deal with a critical issue for all Texans, which is corruption at the local level. Right now, the Constitution, the law, gives primary responsibility to enforcement of laws against public corruption to the local district attorney. But sometimes the local district attorney is too close to the other officials who require the attention of the law. The Attorney General can open up the grand juries to public complaints about public corruption and get special prosecutors appointed to prosecute those cases. Or, if it's not a criminal matter, to simply identify problems and bring them to public attention. Now, on another note, first of all, my website, JONROLAND.org. I am best known as the founder and president of the Constitution Society, with website at constitution.org. It is the ultimate website for all things having to do with constitutions. And for those of you particularly who are students of government, politics, law, or whatever, I think you'll find it a primary reference site that will help you in your studies. Now finally, I'd like to mention one of the proposals I've developed that I'm trying to encourage people to support and get their state legislators to support. That is a nullification commission, the former title of which is Federal Action Review Commission. The way this would work, it would be a statewide grand jury. It would not be appointed by a judge it would be selected at random from the entire community with a screening procedure to get qualified people who know something about law. The grand jury, this commission, would be open to public complaints about usurpations of authority by federal officials and agents. And if it found that the federal official or agent had acted outside of his authority, it would immediately trigger another law which would require all state officials and agents and contractors to refuse to cooperate with that federal usurpation and to encourage private citizens to do likewise. This would put the entire state as a mobilized effort of civil disobedience. And if any of you have studied the history of nullification, you know that civil disobedience that is organized and focused can bring about political and legal change. If you can't get reform through the courts and you can't get it through the ballot box, you may still be able, if you can mobilize a sufficient number of determined minority to uphold the Constitution, to get them, the violators, to back off and bring us back to strict compliance with the Constitution as originally understood. I invite you to go to jonroland.org and to constitution.org and to learn more about it, to learn how you can be helpful in returning your country to its founding principles. Thank you.
It's a very good speech, thank you. I really like what you had to say.
Greg Abbott. All right, I just saw Dr. Mazrat Ali come in. Dr. Ali, would you care to say a few words?
Hi, good afternoon. How is everybody doing? Can you hear me okay? Well, my name is Masarat Ali, or Dr. Ali in short. I'm running for Texas House District 122, and this district is on 1604 281 from Redland. It goes 281 north and south, and you will travel on a military highway, Huebner, Bitters, I-10 east and west, and all the way up to 1604 at Bandera Road. Originally, I come from India. I came to this country 30 years ago with nothing in my pocket but a few degrees, PhD degrees in my hand. And that kind of opened the door for all kinds of opportunities for me. And I was a faculty at the LSU Medical Center for quite some time, and I was also teaching at the Health Science Center Medicine Department, and then I started a biotech business here in San Antonio, and I've been running that business for the last 17 years. My companies do research on breast cancer, prostate cancer, and we produce vaccines. And this is what I have done for the last 17 years, creating high-paying jobs in San Antonio. And I think this is where the future of the country is. If you take a look at the biotech industry, it has grown 20-24% for the last 10-20 years, and it will keep going up. So I think we need to find people who believe in education and who believe in creating jobs, and I'm one of them. For the last 18 years, there has been no change in District 122, and so I offered my services to make a change in the education dropout epidemic. As you know, 1 out of 3 people going to our public colleges, they never get any high school diploma or anything out of it. What kind of future these kids going to have if they don't even have a high school diploma? So I came here to offer my services because for the last 18 years, our district has seen no change. We had no choice and we had no voice. 8 out of the 10 people in our prisons, they are high school dropouts. So I think we have to make a choice as a state, as a nation. Is Texas is going to be proud of its population of prison inmates, or we are willing to change the course and be proud of the number of college graduates? If you vote for me, I'll be dedicated to make a change in education, and I'll appreciate your vote and support. Thank you so much.
All right, is there anyone here for Lieutenant Governor campaigns? All right, and for Governor, Rick Perry, is there anyone from Rick Perry's campaign to speak? Is Elena White here? All right, well that concludes our event. Oh, have we missed anyone? Oh, Kathy Glass, I apologize. Sorry.
Hello everyone, can y'all hear me? My name is Hector Medina, and I'm representing Kathy Glass, the Libertarian who's running for governor. And Kathy Glass is the only conservative choice on the ballot. If you want a candidate who stands for nullification and interposition, and if you want a candidate who will really secure our border by mobilizing and deploying the Texas State Guard, not the National Guard, but our state militia, which the governor has the ability to do. And if you want a candidate for governor who will really lower taxes, reduce the budget to where it was 10 years ago, which results in slashing it by 50%, 5-0, which would only reduce it to where it was 10 years ago if you think that sounds radical. So do you really want lower taxes? By eliminating the school franchise tax and replacing it with nothing, by eliminating franchise tax on small businesses, and by eliminating the property tax. Do you want a candidate who will defend property rights, who is opposed to eminent domain, and will strengthen eminent domain protection? She is completely opposed to the Trans-Texas Corridor, and if you want a candidate who stands for all these things, state sovereignty, using nullification and interposition in our U.S. history, as well as truly lowering the taxes, truly lowering the border, truly lowering spending, and getting us back to the economic prosperity where we belong, rather than being number 8 in 1998 to number 17 in 2004, and now Texas has fallen to number 31. Horrible. We're the 31st economically. We're ranked 31st out of 50 states in the economy in the United States, according to a study. And also according to the study, we are in fact more regulated than California. We need to cut down government, we need to cut down spending, we need to protect our state sovereignty, we need to secure our borders for real. We need to not just talk the talk, but we need to walk the walk. And these career politicians, Republicans and Democrats, I'm going to be objective, are not getting the job done. Please don't vote straight ticket. Make sure to vote Kathy Glass for the next governor of Texas. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brian Underwood, Republican Tea Party approved candidate running for Congress District 28. I'm running to bring back small government, low taxes, liberty and prosperity for our future generations. If you're out in the District 28 area, I'd love to talk to you. All the way from San Marcos, around the outer east side of San Antonio, to Laredo, McAllen, back up around Stockdale. Thank you very much.
That haven't gotten the opportunity to speak today? If so, if you'd please come up, you would have an opportunity to do so at this point. Other than that, please enjoy the event. Thank you very much.
The state representative, that represents UTSA. So specifically, if you're living in the campus or around the campus, I'm going to ask for your vote. The main reason is our current representative, David Leibowitz, does not live in the district, and we've challenged that, and we think that elected officials should share common goals and objectives with you, the folks that live here in the area. We think integrity and ethical concerns are also that our leaders should be beyond reproach, and we're running on accountability, integrity, and leadership. And there's been concerns about my opponent and his $5.5 million judgment that's just a mistake. I live, work, and raise my family in District 117. My neighbors can vouch that I live where I say I do. I'm going to talk a little bit about property ownership and prosperity, the ability to be able to continue to prosper. So he has voted against reducing the rate of state spending. He's voted in favor of vouchers and debit cards to convicted felons for expenses, allowing governments to set values for private property instead of the individual. And he's voted to allow county commissioners to increase taxes even more. And he's even voted for forcing home improvements on private property and allowing us to pay that for property taxes. So again, we continue to pay. I propose no tax increases, and I want to reduce the size and spending of government, and it's interfering with private rights. My opponent has voted against small business development of renewable energy, for putting greater burdens on small businesses, and he dislikes small business but loves big government. And he voted to expand bureaucracy by establishing housing agencies, which is not the business of the government. I will vote to eliminate the business tax, and I want to do everything to allow small business to continue to prosper and create jobs for you guys. When you get out with your degree, you want to be able to support your families. I also support families. Voted in favor of convicting children of hate crimes, voted in favor of creating pro-abortion funding, but voting against pro-life funding for organizations that provide abortion alternatives. And he would have expanded eligibility for CHIPS for people 300% beyond the current poverty level. I will always protect the sanctity of life, family, marriage, and community, the rights of community. So again, I live in this community, I work in this community. I think I can represent the students, the citizens of District 117, so I'm going to ask for your vote November 2nd, John V. Garza, for State Representative for your District 117 here. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I'm very glad to be here with you all today, especially as I'm a college student. I go to Rice in Houston, and so it always, these days, I've taken a semester off to help out my dad. He's running for governor, but I generally often address crowds of that are many years older than I am, so it's nice to be here on a college campus, especially because this election is so much about the young people of this state. We're facing an education crisis. A lot of us just got out of the public school system here in Texas, and we're lagging behind in the nation. We're 49th out of 50th in the number of adults, the percentage of adults with high school diplomas. We're 45th out of 50th in our test scores. Our dropout rates are about 30%, and I bet you all know high schools in the communities that you're from where dropout rates are higher than that. So it's very important that we get somebody in this who's in it for the right reasons, who's in it to invest in the young people of this state. We've seen university tuition rates go up 93% since they were deregulated under our current governor. So we need somebody who's investing in our future, because we are our future, and I want to make sure that we're living in the best state in the nation in 10, 20, 30, 40 years when we're all have our own families. So Please remember Bill White for governor. Please get your friends jazzed up about it. You can go to our website at billwhitefortexas.com. If you could go over there and meet with our field organizer, Jonathan, and sign up to volunteer. We got 21 days to go, so I can't emphasize the need to get involved and spread the word and make this happen. Thank you all so much, and let's get Bill White elected in November.
Very much, UTSA. It's a pleasure being here in a college campus. There's a lot of energy around, just like there is here close to the election season. I'm Francisco Kiko Canseco. I'm candidate for United States Congress, 23rd Congressional District. For those of you that don't know, the 23rd Congressional District is comprised of 20 counties, from San Antonio all the way to El Paso, with 785 miles of Texas-Mexico border. And there are many, many issues involving this vast expanse of Texas that includes ranch lands, farmlands, and municipal areas, and educational facilities such as UTSA. We've got to look at the growth of our economy and the healthcare needs of our citizens, and making sure that Social Security gets safe, and making sure that Medicare is there for our aging population. As I go around here, I'm going to visit with all of you and hopefully answer a lot of the questions that you may have. But more importantly, stay energized, stay involved in your community. This is your future. This is your 23rd Congressional District. This is your Texas. Thank you very much.
Texas Senate District 25 candidate, Arthur M. Thomas IV. So, welcome, Arthur.
Hello, I'm Arthur Thomas for Senate District 25. I ran over here really quick from work, so I don't look like a politician. I'm 32 years old though, graduated from Baylor in 2001. And I know a lot of y'all are just starting to get involved in the political process, but all those that are registered, and I encourage you, those that didn't register, to register in the future, to really get involved and look in what your candidates are doing, the bills they're passing, because it's really going to affect y'all's future. Some of y'all probably aren't in my district, but I'm District 25. Jeff Whitworth spoke earlier. He's my opponent. There's no Democrat running on the ballot for that position. And he would be an unopposed incumbent that was just given away, and y'all had no choice whatsoever if I didn't run against him. He's been in there for over a decade, and he's obviously not a fiscally concerned person. So I encourage all y'all to ask questions. There's great Libertarian candidates running, and get involved as much as you can to find out. An informed citizen will determine the future of this state and country. So be involved and ask questions. Thank you.